Thanks for joining. This is professional level automation training course where we will see all these things in action. So Cisco networking gears in action such as SD-WAN, DNA, ACI, anything. If you want to automate Meraki, firepower, whatever we can automate. That's the whole goal we have, that we should have some professional or enterprise level automation skills, and that's why we have this training. In this training, we'll start with slow, not go in hurry and all. Today is day one, and day one, just the introduction. Introduction means that what are the tools we are going to use, and how we are going to proceed in our training. Those things we'll go and check today, right? The tools we are going to use simply, anyways, you are free to use anything like Python, Ansible, PowerShell, the script, anything you can. Automation means that you can automate things like manual thing. You can create some script, and with the script, that will do your manual things. That's the automation. So the programming language for this training we are going to use is Python. I'll see if, yeah, Ansible also I will go and use. And if you want, you can use Terraform. I'll see if we have the use cases. But yeah, I will go and touch upon Terraform as well. I'll not go on very much specific detail in Terraform, but we will see some labs related to Terraform as well. So Python, majorly 80%, 10% Ansible, and 10% Terraform. These are the top, you can see that top languages nowadays that people are using. The network engineers specifically they are using for their to complete their automation tasks. Okay, so we will start with the Python. Maybe it will take some time to complete it. But what about what type of infra we want to automate? So legacy such as iOS XE, NXOS. Legacy means that they are not exactly legacy, but CLI based devices. And then the SDN platforms such as DNAC, SD-WAN, ACI, etc. These things we will see, okay, in our automation journey. And then I will give you, such type of knowledge that after, means when we'll go and end this training, it will be for up to 40 sessions. Starting with day one, it will go to 40 sessions. That means that maybe 3 to 4 months from now, because every week we have only 3 classes. A month we have maybe 10 to 12 classes. Maybe sometimes we'll miss the classes. So on average, 10 classes. That means 4 months. So this training will go for next 4 months. And not only that, we'll learn these programming skills, we'll learn some tricks as well, that how you can program, because there are so many AI tools and chatbots and those things are there. So we'll go and take help to write our code. These AI tools, we will develop our tools as well. Okay, so let's start. First thing what you want, you should go to the store, Microsoft Store, and install Python. So that is your task, that in your system, you please install Python. What you can do, you can go to Microsoft Store and search for Python. You can see, you can install. It's coming. I have actually installed. Oh, it is not installed. Then I'll go and install owned. I don't know what this means. Owned. You install this. Likewise, you can see my search Ubuntu. Ubuntu is also there. If you are working in Windows, by the way, if you are working in Mac OS, then Mac OS, I think by default there is Python there. Ubuntu type of CLI is there, so you don't need anything. You're ready. If you are in Windows like me, then you can go and install these things such as Python and Ubuntu. And after that, you can go and install the Visual Studio Code. This, it is already installed in my system. If I open that, hmm, it will look like this. Okay, so these things we need. We have to make sure that we have our infra ready, right? Once we have our infra ready, then we can go and work on that. Okay, so do you have all these things?
Yeah, I have Python. I am updating right now Visual Studio right now. I had installed it, but it has update, and I'm doing that right now.
I I installed my Python and the Studio, but the problem is the Python I have is 3.11. Studio is picking 3.13.
That's
I
okay.
don't know.
There's
That
no
that
problem.
doesn't matter. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Okay, so once we have these things, let me quickly go and check the Ubuntu, how much it got installed. Because Ubuntu is one of the nice uh, install. Now it is installed. CLI feature you will get in Ubuntu that you will not see in other CLI. So let me open it and pull here, because once we have this Linux type of machine running, so if you install it first time, it will ask you some username, password, blah, blah, those things. It will set the environment. It's taking time. I think it is still in progress to install. Oh, now it is installed. So once you have such type of infra, then you can see that I can go and run the Linux type of commands, and it will be helpful. It will be useful. And if I go and see the Python, you can see what version of Python I have. So because it's simply it is telling that Python is not found, although Python 3 is there. So at the moment you can see I can go and hit Python 3 369, the older version of Python I have 3.6. So it is telling, okay, you want to install Python, you can go and use sudo apt install Python. Let me exit from here. I don't know what's the password I have. Okay, you can see the configuration CLI commands that we can go and use the Python, older version, newer version, etc., etc. So point here is this, that make ready your infra, you make ready your Ubuntu's within your Linux, your Visual Studio, all those things. All of this will not support maybe everything that we have in the native Ubuntu. It is something that we are running over Windows, right? Okay, so far you're with me.
Okay.
Uh,
Yes.
All right. Now, what we want to do? we are going to start the Python training. I have given you one slide deck link. You can see, if you don't have, let me put here in the chat window, that you can use for few classes. First few classes, we are going to use this. This is one of the Python training I created for one of the company where they want to learn Python that they can utilize in their network. So that much knowledge they want. What type of networking related things we can do, or how much we can learn in Python that we can start automating the networking devices. Okay, so that's why you can see that breakup of the units here. Unit 1 will tell you what are the data units, means what type of data we have, or what type of data types you have in Python. I'll come to that. Then the condition, the logic that we are creating via loops conditions. Then what type of containers we have in the Python language. Containers means where you can store the object, store some data like it's integer or a string or anything. And you may know that list is one example, dictionary is one example, then combination of list and dictionary, then tuples. Those are the examples, right? Mostly we are going to play around with dictionary, list and dictionary. Dictionary is one of the key data structure where you have key and value pair. And list is something where you can go and store the digits or store the characters one by one by one by one. Like you have one list or two list or three list, etc. So you can see that function array, list tuples, dictionaries, and finally the file exception handles, modules, etc. This is also very important, the section number 5, because you should work with file handling where you want to read from where you want to write. Those read write operations will be there, right? Okay, so now what we'll do today, as I told you that we are not going to do much, like very much the lab things and all those things. Today we are simply understanding the infra. So once you are up to this point that you have the Python ready, you have the Visual Code ready, you have the document link and all, then where we can go and perform the lab. You have option. You have multiple options that you can use to perform the lab. Either in your laptop itself, you can go and install GNS3, or maybe you have connection with some DCloud where you have the lab, or maybe you have some viral access, or when you are running these labs over EVNG, or you can go and use Cisco Sandbox. So here you can see that we have this sandbox. Let me launch one of the sandbox. Actually, I already started one of the SD-WAN sandbox, where in this I have list of devices. You can see that I have CS devices and VS devices as well. I have one WAN router as well where I can go and log in via the telnet. Wow, SSH. So for SD-WAN, obviously, when we'll learn SD-WAN, I can go and use a Cisco DevNet portal, right? And from there, I can go and reserve the lab and I can practice. For me, this will be the easiest one. So I don't need any GNS3 install, EVNG install, anything in my laptop. Simply, whenever I need, I can reserve the lab and I can practice, right?
Yeah, okay.
Makes sense.
So let's log into this vManage. Let's see, just for one purpose. And what's the user? Oh, I need to connect with VPN first. So let me connect with this. Connecting with VPN, and now I can check what is the username and password for vManage. Admin and Cisco. Okay.
It's faster than CLC.
Okay.
Okay.
So we can go here and reach here and let's see. Yeah, yes, this is faster. This is actually better. You can practice so many things. Your own lab, your own uh, templates you can create, some policies you can create, practice it. This is really good. So it's loading. Why I have done this? Because I just wanted to see that how many devices it is managing. I can see that there is dev box as well. That's a good thing. So that means that they are providing the DevNet infra as well, like automation infra as well for us. So what I'm telling here is this, that you can create one folder and automation. And then in this, I can go and put that URL. There's some 10.10.50.20 sims and the username and password developer. Okay, so username is developer and password. Okay, let me try. 1010, oh, 10.10.20.50. So IP is wrong. 10.10.20.50. And then let me try to connect. 10.10.20.50 SSH. Yes, what happened? Oh, display name only changed.
Do you have
So
to do the checkbox at the bottom SSH?
let's see. Well, by default, it is taking SSH only.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so now you can see that we have this infra. We have this Python infra, and if we go and see that what image it is running, so we have sent OS as well with us. So if we use this lab, it's a nice lab, right? So many devices are there. And then we have the dev box as well, 20.50 range. And then so many devices are there. So let's go to the VMan, SDWAN. I need to refresh this page. Much time, no problem. What we can do, 10.10, what's the IP? 10.10.20.90. Let me open my Ubuntu. And that's the thing we have actually. you know, Nice thing you have. So once you are in your Ubuntu, you can SSH to what IP? Um, 10.10.20.50 is the DevNet IP, right? Even I can SSH to this vmanage as well. Vmanage is what, 20.90, and let me negate this because the username for vmanage is admin, right? And then show control connections. Actually, I just wanted to see that how many devices are registered here. So I can see that we have devices, vSmart, vBond, and then these many vEdge. Okay, vBond 2, 2 vBonds, but vEdge 1, 2, vEdge 1, 2, 3, 3 vBonds. You can see vBond 1, 2, 3, 3 vBond, 1 vSmart. How many vEdge? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 vEdges are there whose IP, system IP 10.10.20.80, 23.14. Wow. Then this IP, this IP, and then we can check with the list as well. So you can see the list is DC WAN Edge telnet. So if we go and check the topology, somehow can enlarge this topology. Anyways, it's very small, but you can see DC, some edge, some DC edge one here, edge. I will enlarge this diagram later on. So where we are, we'll see. So DC side, there is dev box, and DC side, you have all the controllers, and DC side, you have the internet and the MPLS access. Then you have branch 1 and branch 2, side branch CH. So like that, we have this infra. Then branch 3 is also there. So branch 1, 2. So one data center and 3 branches. You can see here. In this lab, you have access to site 1, site 2, site 3. In branch 3, you have VH. In branch 1 and branch 2, you have CH. So branch 1 and branch 2, you have CH devices. And branch 3, you have VH devices. And then they are connected with some laptop or some host. Okay. So what I want here is this, that, okay, I will automate it, but if it is managed via SD-WAN, if these devices, actually I need to open this in some other browser. This browser having some issue. Let me quickly open with some new browser. So allow me some time. Oh, now it is loading. It seems it's loading. Uh, uh, uh. Okay, we can see loading. It is. So I have some browser issue. See the number of devices that is registered there is site 1, site 2, site 3, and DC. As per the diagram, in the diagram. Okay. So if you go to the diagram, here it is. We can see CH, CH, VH, and CH. Only 4 CH you have, means 3 CH plus 1 VH. And then you have the routers. Why am I specific to the router? Because later on, if you want to do the normal legacy automation, legacy device automation, then I need this router where we have the telnet only. So what I will do, I'll go and enable the SSH feature. Let's log into this router. Let's see. Let me pull my Ubuntu. Here we are. We are in the Ubuntu. Even from the normal Windows also you can do that, right? I can exit from here and I can telnet 171 username iOS XE. That's good, right? Because then you can automate iOS XE devices 17.3. So we have at least one device here that we can go and automate. But for our automation script, I don't want to use Telnet because no one is using Telnet in the enterprise nowadays. So for that, if you have to enable SSH, what are the things you are doing? You need hostname. Already it has hostname. Then you need something IP domain or domain name. That command that IP domain name. For example, dcloud dot dot cisco.com. Then you need to generate a key, crypto key, generate RSA modulus. 2048 will be the better key. Okay. And then you need to do this version, maybe version 2. Line VTY 024 transport both input output or transport input SSH, transport output SSH, right? A username and password is already there. You can see that we have one user Cisco is also there and developer is also there. Here I can do login with local database. Now, this is my Windows PowerShell. This is my Ubuntu shell. Now, if I exit from here, just to exit and want to SSH this developer at the rate was the IP 10.10.20.171 or SSH. I don't need minus L, I think. Directly also we can, yes, adding the key. It's taking some time. Now you're in the device where SSH is working, right? So if we do a small, this is a small task, right? Our lab will be ready. Why we are doing this? Because once our lab is ready, so you can see this lab, this is, will mark this as a legacy type of automation. And then you have SD-WAN also, where we can do the SD-WAN type of automation. So both the things will be ready. And then we can play around with the configuration and all those things. So now if I have to go and develop a script, I can go and develop, right? So far you're with me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So you don't need any extra thing, right? In your Windows, if you have Windows, in your Windows, you can go and install the Visual. If you want, you can install the Python. Otherwise, you can do this thing that you can go and install Ubuntu. And in this Ubuntu, I can have multiple instances of Ubuntu. So duplicate tab. So PowerShell is opening with duplicate tab. Let me try to open one more instance. But when I'm opening other instance, you can see. But anyways, so you can see I have two Ubuntu sessions here. In this Ubuntu itself, we can go and develop the script like this. So I have my project file. I can go and develop my script. I have one script where I want to use Paramiko. My IP is what? 10.20.171. Anywhere from anywhere I can take such type of a script, right? Modify it. So many chat tools are there, AI tools are there. I can take that script. Cisco 12345 or C1SCO, something is that C1SCO. There's a password. I want to see show version. Later on, I will explain you that this is the list, and from this list, this is the list type of definition, and from this list type of definition, you want to run the commands. Then I will explain what is a try and exception block and all those things. But you are in the loop, you are running, you are putting this command. r- All this structure I will explain you. But from internet, I copy one configuration, and then from this configuration, you can execute this, right? You can execute this script and you will get the result. So now you have one script here that you can go and copy. Here I have my automation server, right? What I will do, even we can create one directory scripts, and then we can go to and here I can use nano editor or sudo nano, say login.py. I have this password here. I created a script there. I can paste it. You have this script. Oops, sorry for that. Control O, Control X, cat. You have this script, right? Now you can go and run this Python 3 and the login. Now it is telling that Paramiko is not there. So we can do pip install Paramiko, or you can use this command. Installing the packages. Then we'll run that. Still it is telling that login.py Paramiko. It has some issue. It found some issue here installing it, but no problem. I told you earlier that the environment that I have in Windows, and not only Windows, the good thing about this lab is this, that even I can go to the automation server. From here also I can go to the automation server. So let me exit from here. I can SSH to the automation server that we already have in this lab. This, right? And there I can create the login.py. Oops. And let me delete first of all this. I have developed my script. Let me quickly copy that. This is my script I developed. I can paste here, escape. If it is VI editor, then escape will work. Otherwise, Control O, Control X. And then python.exe, or sorry, python.3 or something, just to run this. Fail to connect. No problem. I can see some output here. Show version. It is running show version command. Anyways, I just wanted to show you that how you can run the command from different places. You can run from your Ubuntu, or even you can run that command from your Visual Studio as well, because anyways your VPN is connected, so you need to save this file, and from here also you can run it. Slowly we will do all these things. But point A is this: build your lab. So your lab is already there here, so you don't need to build it. Simply you have to create one account. We will go and work on these labs. Everything we can do in these labs.
Okay.
All right, so let me pause the recording.